Hey, Soul Survivors, I'm Cynthia Schiller. We're going to talk about a response to one of my viewers where she was like, I'm just so tired. And it can be emotionally draining when we go through the emotional abuse that we've been through. So let's talk about the feel-good hormones that are out there, what they do, also what emotional abuse and the discard, how does that affect us? And there's several reasons that being so tired and exhausted can happen. You have your psychological trauma. Emotional abuse and discard can cause extreme psychological trauma at times, and this is where the symptoms of anxiety, depression, CPTSD will happen. And within these conditions, they have a significant impact on our energy levels, and it can make us feel exhausted and drained. And during this emotional abuse or discard, we start getting triggered in our body's stress response. And due to this, it releases hormones such as cortisol, adrenaline, and it's not good for our body to stay in that state. It's a heightened state, so it wears us down. It's meant to give us extreme fight or flight, and it overtakes our body. And when it continues on for a long time, it starts messing with our brain, messing with our bodies. And these hormones are what get us prepared in a stressful situation, but it keeps us exhausted when it continues on for longer than needed. So it also can cause sleep disturbances. That's another reason why we feel so tired, because it can disrupt our sleep. And this can cause us to experience difficulty falling asleep, possibly waking up frequently during the night, or sometimes having nightmares. All disrupts our sleep, and it just leads to sleep deprivation. And that can make us feel physically and mentally exhausted. We often become emotionally depleted, and it's because of the emotional abuse we went through. We are depleting our emotional resources, and it starts leaving us feeling drained or exhausted. And it can start making things challenging to even engage in activities that we at once enjoyed or maintained in healthy relationships with others. And it starts messing with the release and uptake of these hormones. So it can have a significant impact. But um, more in detail, chronic stress. When we experience stress, our bodies release hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, and it keeps us in that heightened state. So we often can go through self-care deficits when we're dealing with emotional abuse, and we stop making ourselves a priority. And this can lead to a cycle where we start feeling helpless and frustrated, and it is where we need to get back into a balance. So what can we do? What activities raise the first feel-good hormone that we're going to talk about, which is endorphins? Now, endorphins are naturally occurring chemicals within our brain, and these chemicals are responsible to reduce our pain, increase feelings of pleasure, and also well-being. And there are luckily a lot of different activities that we ourselves can do to stimulate the release of endorphins, helping us to feel better. We can exercise. Physical activity, especially aerobic exercise, can be one of the most effective ways to stimulate endorphins. And you hear about the runner's high, where they just feel so good doing it. And it can boost feelings of well-being. Laughter, go to a comedy club, laugh with your friends. Laughing is a great way to boost endorphins. Whatever funny joke or movie, spending time with friends, just getting silly, can increase our endorphins. Now, eating spicy foods, this is something I'll skip on the endorphins. I don't like spicy food, but some of you guys do. And it can actually cause the body to release endorphins, and it can kind of give you a little bit of a natural high just to feel good. Just be careful not to eat too much. It can also upset your stomach. So listening to music stimulates the release of endorphins. Feel that music, get involved with it, maybe even move to it, and choose music that you enjoy and that makes you feel good. We all have different tastes in music. A massage will stimulate endorphins. So if you're struggling, feeling down, even if it's a self massage, or have a friend help you out, give you a little bit of a massage to release some of that anxiety, reduce some of that stress, and even just a short massage. I think I'm going to take a break and go do this. It does feel good. Sunlight, you get your vitamin D, and it also stimulates the release of endorphins, improves your mood. You hear about seasonal depression. That's partially because of that. So meditation is great, mindfulness, and this shows a release of the endorphins. It also reduces stress and anxiety, which is pretty much the goal we're looking for. Another is the dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, and what its function is inside the brain, it does regulate movement, our motivation. Also, it's the reward center, and exercise is also good for that. So you have another way to get more feel-good hormones. So this can lead to feelings of pleasure, motivation, as well as improvements in our mood, also our cognitive function, because when we go through CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, it does give us brain fog. So let's increase our cognition, our brain function, and I'll tell you some tyrosine foods, because eating foods high in tyrosine is an amino acid. And what it does is it's a precursor to dopamine. Foods that are high in tyrosine, such as eggs, cheese, almonds, can increase dopamine within our brain. And getting enough sleep is extremely important. So dopamine is also, you get that when you listen to music, when you meditate, and also sleeping. Sometimes we don't realize how important sleep is, and it helps keep those dopamine levels balanced. So when we set and achieve goals, this can lead to feelings of accomplishment, also satisfaction, and that is a great little dopamine hit for us. Taking certain drugs, don't do the ones you're not supposed to. But sometimes there are certain medications if you do have certain mental illnesses, but try to avoid street drugs, especially with the fentanyl that is on the rise. That's deadly, like so minutely. So just definitely be wise. But some other foods, we talk about eggs and cheese are high in tyrosine. Also soybeans, beef, and almonds. And turkey is high in protein, but also a real high level of tyrosine. Just a 3-ounce serving of turkey contains 1,000 milligrams of tyrosine. Yogurt is about half that. Still a good amount, 400 to 500 milligrams of tyrosine. But soybeans, that has 1,000 milligrams. Cheese, one of my favorites, is 250 to 300 per ounce. And eggs, 300 to 400 milligrams of tyrosine just in one large egg. So what we eat is really important. You hear eat healthy, but we can also eat strategically. And I think that's something that's not taught. I got to write that down. I need to do that. Eating strategically, not just healthy. So serotonin is important in regulating mood, appetite, and sleep. So sometimes when we get depressed, we can have either where we eat too much or not enough. So when our serotonin is balanced, weight management is a lot easier. And we're often tired because we don't feel good too. So sometimes you don't feel like exercising, but exercising will boost that serotonin. So we're rebalancing. So it is important to kind of push yourself a little bit. Sunlight for serotonin. So getting out in the sun has many different hormones are being released. And it also, this one, tryptophan. You hear as far as it's in turkey, chicken, eggs, cheese, nuts, and seeds. And, growing up, they would say that it would make you tired, but they're starting to not think that eating turkey is exactly what's making you tired. It's just sometimes overeating like we do at Thanksgiving. Mindfulness meditation is shown again to increase serotonins. Massage. This is so it's two in one, three in one sometimes when you do certain activities and social connections. It helps with the level of serotonin. And it is nice because it'll also provide a sense of community and support. But oxytocin is one, and this is physical touch, such as hugging, holding hands, even cuddling. And this can increase our oxytocin within our brains. And touch is what triggers the release of oxytocin from the hypothalamus. So sometimes, get a support animal, even if it's just a domestic cat. It doesn't have to be a high dollar service animal, but touch is important. Give each other high fives, positive social interactions, just spending time with our family, friends, loved ones. Can help with those oxytocin levels by laughing. Here you hear laughing again, talking. Sometimes we haven't been able to discuss things and we feel very invalidated. Talking is great, and that releases that oxytocin. Also, if you are a breastfeeding mother, congratulations, you get a little bonus of oxytocin, and it helps bond with your infant child. So meditation, petting animals, eating foods that contain oxytocin. And we're pretty lucky. Chocolate. Chocolate's actually good for us. And it's because it has that compound within it that stimulates oxytocin. So don't feel so guilty about that piece of chocolate. And if that was helpful to you, send me some oxytocin and some flowers. But we do feel tired because our bodies are out of whack sometimes and our minds are in overdrive. We were on unstable ground for so long, walking on eggshells. And, some of us are hyper alert if there's any type of abuse where we're on edge. And we can even be on edge when we're just trying to discuss things like, when do I say something? Do I say it? Do I not say it? And near the end of the discard, no matter what you say, is going to be an attack. You can say, sweetie, I just folded the towels. I'm ready to make dinner for you. And it's like about fucking time you got to the towels. And you're like, whoa, like, you don't know what to expect. So you start shutting down. And it's exhausting being in that kind of relationship. So these are some of the reasons that you're tired. And I know a lot of people are enjoying the live chats on, I'm currently doing Fridays and Saturdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to try to do some more for you over my summer break from teaching, but we do laugh a lot and have a really good supportive group that I hope you join us. Comment below on some topics you'd like to hear about. One-on-ones are available, and I'm here to help you through this journey, because it will be a breath of fresh air once you get through the hard times. I hope that was helpful. I'll see you soon.